Hey there, gamers. This is Toby from the Secret Levels podcast here. I wanted to tell you about our fundraising campaign we're hosting this year from November 1st to December 31st called Gameboree. Gameboree has been happening for 6 years in support of St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. In total, Gameboree has raised over $11,000. This year, we have some awesome prizes we'll be giving away, and we'll even be doing some special streams over on twitch.tv/TobyVonDoom. For more info on how to donate and when the stream schedules are, please visit badsecretmedia.com/Gameboree. Donate to win some prizes, but also just to help the kids. Donate today and make a difference. badsecretmedia.com/Gameboree. GAMEBOREE.
Hello and welcome back to Afterglow episode 120. In this episode we're sticking with another NES game, and this time it'll be another of the MacVenture games. We're checking out Shadowgate, but I won't be alone. I do have a guest for this episode. But before we introduce him, how about we introduce the patrons? A special shout out to the patrons of Afterglow. As of right now, those patrons are OCD in every RPG and Texan Toby with Big Red Flavor. Special thank you to those guys who have subscribed to the Patreon and helped support the show, and of course for the previous month and the rest of December, all patron money goes to Gameboree, along to some donations from Afterglow itself to help St. Jude's Hospital. And now, we're going to make this a bit of a short intro this month. We're going to jump right into some music from the game before I have our guest come on and we discuss another point-and-click classic. I love all these MacVenture games, but this is probably the one I have the least experience with. I played a lot of Uninvited and quite a bit of Deja Vu as a kid. Not much of Shadowgate 2, but I'm going to go into some of that in the episode that's going to start up after our music break. And welcome back. I am joined by a familiar guest for this episode. If you would like to introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I am Poppy the Mass Keaton, and I am here to talk about Shadowgate, right?
We're not doing Maniac Mansion?
It's a pretty big building and people live in there, so it's kind of like a mansion.
Oh God, all of my research has gone to waste. Pivot!
Okay, so Maniac Mansion introduced us to the SCUM system, which stands for Saved Creation, Something Creation Utility Maniac Mansion.
That's how the host would feel right now if he played the wrong game for this episode. Now, we do need to do Maniac Mansion at some point, but this one will be about Shadowgate, which this is the one I think that Keaton has a lot more experience with than I do. I definitely had a ton of experience with Uninvited, not as much with Shadowgate. How about you?
I had a lot. I played this as a kid. Nintendo Power helped me through it. And I want to say that... Okay, so my memory is that I played this at Grandma's house, and that one of my my Uncle Nathan's friends helped me with a couple of puzzles. But none of that makes sense because Grandma didn't have a Nintendo, and I don't know when or how I would have even seen my Uncle Nathan's friends there. They never came over. But
see, this one's foggy for me too. I can't remember whether I had rented it first. If I did, it was like a one-time rental, or if I'd emulated it and decided I didn't like it as much as Uninvited, so didn't load it back up for a while. I can't remember for sure.
Fair. How could you not like this as much as Uninvited? They're so similar.
I was confused.
Fair.
I stumbled in the darkness and hit my head.
Alright, that's fair. Yeah. This one does have the similar sort of problems with built-in timers killing you. At least in this game, you know what the built-in timer is. And that's torches. For those who don't know, you start out, you collect torches. Every so often your torches burn down and you have to light another one. There are a lot of torches in the game, but you will run out eventually, and if you have no torches, your character stumbles around and dies. But then you start back at the room where you died with full torch.
Shout out to Stumbles?
Hey, Stumbles!
Yeah, I do like a lot of things about this game. It does give you a little bit of a tutorial in the beginning with entering the castle with the gem hidden behind the skull at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so I guess we should probably sort of mention what we're... Like, this is a point-and-click adventure game that takes place where you are sent by a wizard to the entrance to this castle, because the castle is high up in the mountains and surrounded by a forest and very hard to get to. And you are told, go inside and stop the Warlock Lord because you're the last of the descendants in the line of kings.
I wonder if this is the same dude that was in Uninvited. Same Warlock.
Alright, how nerdy do you want the next 2 minutes of your life to be?
I thought they were named different, but I could be wrong if you want to correct me on this. That was just like for a stupid 10-second joke, but have at it. Educate me, good sir.
Okay, so no, they are not the same wizard. The one in Uninvited is Drakan. The good wizard in this game is Lakmir, and the bad wizard in this game is Talamar, who becomes the Warlock Lord. Now, that was interesting, sort of. What gets really interesting is that in Beyond Shadowgate, the sequel that came out for Steam and GOG in 2024, your character travels through a portal to briefly enter the game set in Uninvited. And to make things even more interesting is that while you are playing Uninvited, you can find tombstones for Shadowgate and the character from Deja Vu, the other game in this trilogy.
I am only on the second chapter of the new Shadowgate game on Steam. I really enjoyed the first part of it, but I'm trying to stay away from spoilers, so I have not played beyond that yet.
Whoops.
No, not those kind of spoilers. Those are fine. I just don't want someone to tell me how to solve all the puzzles before I have a chance to try myself.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I didn't feel bad. Like, that was in the Kickstarter bonus, so it's
Right.
not that. But if you do want help with that, let me know, because I do love Beyond Shadowgate. And exciting news about that, one of the companies involved in it, Cerulean Blue, recently dropped a trailer saying that it was coming soon to Switch and Xbox and not Game Station, PlayStation.
Which is excellent news. That way they can get our game out to a lot more people, and especially since it's a good sign for Uninvited 2 hitting the rest of the consoles as well.
Yes. Uninvited 2, let nothing you dismay.
Speaking of game guides, though, I do have to ask, did you use a game guide for Shadowgate?
Yes. Nintendo Power was very much my friend in this game.
I needed one, too, for a few specific points, so, yeah, I don't feel bad for the points I needed. There's, again, it's a point-and-click game, so there's a lot of exploring you have to do, and a lot of experimentation you have to do. But there are some points that I did not understand at all. I'm gonna make myself sound stupid for a second. Is that okay?
Go for it.
All right. So the torches on screen, for the longest time, I thought they were decorations.
Oh no.
I did not realize that the start button functioned as a hint system. So where on many screens you could push, I think it was start, and it would possibly give you a hint for the room you were in.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, that's a mild one, though, because a lot of times the hint is simply don't give up. There's a few rooms where it gets a little bit more specific, but most of the time it's a variation of don't give up.
Yeah.
There's a very important item in the game that you have to use multiple times, and I did not know you had to use it multiple times and left it behind.
Yep. That puzzle bothers me because it is definitely not intuitive.
I thought I'd soft-locked myself in the game whenever I cracked open some acid slime and it fell all over the floor.
Yep, another area that's a cool death, but yeah, it's not worth the cost. Yeah, because then you can't take that off.
Have I made myself sound foolish enough for this game yet?
I mean, yeah, sure, but it's a point-and-click adventure game. All of those things are common occurrences in a point-and-click adventure game, especially.
Uninvited, though, I felt like I could stumble through and kind of figure it out, other than the gem that would kill you in so many turns. That would be the one part in that one. But this one, like, I felt like I was continually hitting a wall until I finally got a guide.
Yeah, and I think part of that is, in this game, there's a lot of red herrings. There's just a lot of items you can pick up, a lot of things that aren't needed, and it's not as easy to find places to drop them, to clean out your excess inventory. But
another one would be the torches. You have to have a torch lit. That's like the timer in this game. If you let your torch go out, you stumble around and die. But there's two different sections for torches. You'll have like one torch by itself, and then you'll have another one that'll show how many you have. And for the longest time, I thought I just hit like a cap of how many torches I had, and it made another like, pile of them, almost.
Oh, so you didn't realize that. Alright, so, dear listener, if you haven't played Shadowgate, the vibe we're given appears to be that we are skirting around spoilers, but we're going to have to talk about a couple of things.
Right.
So, yeah, there's one torch that is very specifically enchanted, and it's not. I don't think it's that clear that it is an enchanted torch.
I didn't know.
Yeah, this game, it's weird because I think this game was the third one released on the Macintosh trilogy, but the first one released for the Nintendo. And there are certain things that you think they would have learned to cover a little bit better, because a lot of these things, whenever you come across a monster, it's just a guess as to what kills the monster. Like, you've got 10 weapons, 9 of them will cause you to die, 1 of them will cause the monster to die, and you don't know which one until you try them all.
And the furthest I made it in the game without using the walkthrough, honestly, was maybe an eighth of the way through. Like, my lock point was more or less the lake that has a skeleton holding the key.
Yep.
That was pretty well where I hit my wall.
Yep, that's rough, because in the room with the waterfall is rough, because that's not. There's a. I'm just gonna say this part. There, when you get to the room with the waterfall, there is a room hidden behind it, but you can only click on it by physically clicking on the picture where that is, and it's not blatant enough to go, huh? I think I can get back there. In fact, there's a pseudo, like, false flag red herring where you want there's a door, but it's covered by a bunch of rocks, and it says, like, you can't move these rocks. But when it gives you a spot on the map, your thought is, well, I have to move those rocks. Something will let me to get back there. But no, you have to instead find a small crevice and just physically click on that crevice on the screen in front of you to get into the hidden area. And yeah, that was just a task, I think.
Well, the frustration for me, at least, came from the fact that explaining the layout of the game a little bit, in the more or less the biggest portion of your screen is taken up of an image of what you're looking at, and then to the right of that you've got your notebook, which will have all your items in storage, and then the screen will have your actions, and in the corner of your actions you'll have a small mini-map. And normally this mini-map will have a tiny box of every place you can move to, but this one area in the waterfall doesn't have that little box that you can go to get through it. And it made me very lost.
Yeah, there's just a couple of puzzles that weren't intuitive, or you didn't think, oh, hey, I should do this. There were some rough puzzles there. But I don't want to be too down on the game, because it is a fantastic. I love it, and
it's a great game. Like, I'm just voicing my frustration due to the fact that, like, I couldn't figure a lot of this stuff out. Made me feel dumb, more or less. Especially after I figured out Deja Vu and Uninvited.
Yeah, I don't know if they learned lessons and were like, hey, be sure to put more clues in there. Because I think Uninvited does a lot better job of giving you clues to, this is what you should do. The clues may be a little obscure, but if you look hard enough, you will find clues.
Right. Like, I wouldn't have known about the first spell that you find in this game. You have to read it 3 times to figure it out. It's not on the scroll, it's like a sign on the wall.
Yep. Good old Epper.
Poor. Of course, once you kind of... It does give you a little hint the second time you read it.
Mm-hmm.
So I do
But,
appreciate that.
But who's going to keep looking at a sign on the wall that is clearly says it on the screen what the sign reads as?
Like stuff like that, I couldn't logic out. Now, the stuff I could logic out would be the dragon hallway. It's got all the items strewn about, and then there's like a dragon at the end. It's like, what am I going to pick up first? Probably the shield.
Yep. That's a fun puzzle. Oh.
I do like the fact that it takes into account the shield getting hotter the longer you're in there.
Yep, and do not push your luck.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I guess another thing worth mentioning, as we kind of discussed it a few times, is the game has some very good graphic high fantasy deaths if you take on monsters and lose.
Oh, that's the big thing. All these MacVenture games, they all have like the most entertaining death scenes.
Yep, agreed. And even more so if you play the Macintosh versions, because the NES was toned down a little bit in some cases.
Mm-hmm. I find it a little bit of a trade-off because the NES did give you an awesome soundtrack that was not on the Mac.
Yes, that the soundtrack to this game is amazing. The soundtrack to the 2014 remake was amazing. So, again, like a little tangent, this game was re-released in 2014, I believe, and it has updated graphics, slightly new puzzles, fills out a bit more of the picture, and if you're looking for a better user, it's got an item wheel. It takes a little bit to get used to, but once you get used to it, it's very easy to navigate. And the fun thing about that soundtrack to me was I had the soundtrack on my music player, and I was listening to one song that only takes place in one room. And as I'm listening to it, all of a sudden, I get a game over while listening to the soundtrack. It's like the music suddenly becomes too loud for you to handle. The cacophony of instruments causes the blood to pour out of your ears and your brain to explode. You are dead. And you stop there, and I'm like, did I just die in a soundtrack?
That's amazing.
I've been gaming for almost 40 years now. I've never died in a soundtrack before. So I got Game of my Year for like 2022, and I finally got around to playing it.
Oh, that's great. I did not realize that.
Oh, it's fantastic. So if you're listening to this and you're a fan of the original, I do recommend giving the new version that's a decade old a try. It is not quite the same, but it is. It's a lot of fun, and it does have some new rooms to explore. Yeah.
Just doing the quick price search on that. If you buy it directly on Steam, it's $15. However, you can find it on the key shops for as cheap as $2 or $3.
So yeah, and it'll help scratch that Shadowgate itch.
It is dirt cheap, and you should definitely check it out, especially for that much. I mean, you're going to spend more going to Starbucks and getting a coffee.
Yeah, and Starbucks doesn't have nearly as good a soundtrack.
Amen to that. I've actually not stepped foot in a Starbucks in probably 15 years.
Yeah, but the Kroger I go to has one, but it's more of a Kroger vibe than a Starbucks vibe.
Right.
I just don't drink a lot of coffee.
I don't mind getting the pumpkin spice thing every so often, but I don't go to Starbucks to get it.
Oh yeah. Speaking of drinking strange things, did you drink any strange bottles in Shadowgate?
Yes. They were all labeled with numbers.
Yep. There's 5, 6 bottles. One of them is useful. I think the most don't do anything, and one will at least straight up kill you.
Yeah, I know one straight up kills you. One, if you overuse it, I think there's like 2 or 3 copies of it. I think you can soft lock yourself because you're required to use it at one point to like float over something, if I remember right.
Yep. And that one actually does a good job of giving you a hint, because it says this bottle feels lighter than air. And I thought that was a very good, subtle clue to a puzzle.
Right. Speaking of things that break like bottles, did you have any issues in the, I guess the mirror room, I would call it?
Yeah. Yeah, I might have died a couple of times in the mirror room.
Yeah, same here. Was shocked at the way I died. There wasn't like a monster or anything behind it. I just got sucked into space. I'm here like, it's an interesting death for a fantasy game.
Okay. So, to me, this room is very important. But yes, that is a fantastically weird death that just teleports you into the center of space. But that actually does have a little bit of relevance, because in the 2014 version, the mirror room acts as a teleporter to different areas of the castle, because the castle's a bit bigger.
Okay.
In 2014, the room is a teleporting room, but which kind of ties into this death because it teleports you to space. So,
that's great.
Had you known how to use the room better, you could have teleported to places, but you just hit a mirror with a hammer, messed up the spell, and boom, vacuum of space dead.
Now, there is one other thing I would want to go over. There is a bit of a randomizer in the game, but it's only in one specific room.
Yeah. Sphinx room?
Yes. And he can ask you a random question, and instead of answering, you need to have the item in your inventory. And like the puzzles are all real easy, but some of the items are missable. Like the skull is technically a missable item.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you feel about the graphics in the Sphinx?
I mean, I thought they were pretty good. It looked like a Sphinx.
I was a little creeped out by it, not gonna lie.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
That's probably the vibe they were going for, admittedly.
Oh, sure, it's meant to be intimidating. Okay, you're like, oh no. Monster room.
I was unaware, whenever I was younger, of the idea of the Sphinx. So I'm looking at a lion with a human face going, what?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be a lot more weird if you didn't know what a Sphinx was.
Which is weird, because I knew of, like, the Egyptian Sphinx, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But I never equated out that to be a fully human face. So whenever I saw this game's version, again, I'm just, like, looking at it going, what?
Oh, yeah. That would definitely be strange. But no more weird than a Cyclops.
Right? Or a sexy lady chained up that you have to kill.
Yeah. Yeah, she gets some backstory in the remake.
That one confused me a little bit, because she was like a reverse werewolf. I was really confused.
Yes.
Like, if she's in the moonlight, everything's okay. If she's not in the moonlight, she turns into a werewolf, apparently. And I'm here like, this feels backwards. I get what they're going for.
I got the impression that she was just a shapeshifter, and that was just her trick to lower your guard.
Oh, see, I thought she was like a werewolf, because it was talking like about the moonlight that was shining on her.
You know, you might be right. I mean, I don't know.
And I could have had the wrong idea entirely, too. I equate moon wolf transformation.
Sure, no. Everything you're saying makes logical sense. So I do want to segue a bit here because I do know some cool, an interesting fact about the character. So for those of you who listen to Secret Levels, know that I love me some board games, and Shadowgate has a board game, and it's pretty fun. And that werewolf character was a convention promotion giveaway at Gen Con so that you could play as that character. And her ability is she can shift between human and wolf form.
Speaking of which, if you have not listened to Keaton's episode on the Shadowgate game, you should go over there and check that out. That will be on the Secret Levels podcast feed.
It's Game Master, Board Master number 2. Please listen. I worked really hard on it, and I want Toby and Goobs to think that I'm a good thing for their podcast.
Leave that episode some feedback. So, you know, be like, I like Keaton more than I like the other two guys.
Or at least something like, hey, Keaton, put out an episode more than every 6 months. That would help.
So, did you have a favorite villain in this game?
Oh. That is a very good question. I really think that I'm stalling. Do you have one? Give me a second to think.
I thought whenever I was younger that it was a blue dragon, but instead it is a wyvern that is at the top of the castle.
Yep.
I just liked the way that one looked. Very easy to beat, a very simple trick, but I just love the way it was designed. I like the design on it more than I like the design of the final boss of the game.
Yeah, that's fair. The behemoth is a little it's big, but it loses a lot of a detail in its bigness.
Yeah, I mean, it's a giant pinkish dragon-looking thing.
Yep.
Which again, color limitation.
Yep. I think maybe the Hellhound. Like, that thing looks nasty.
Yeah, it does.
But it was one of the ones that caused me problems because I couldn't find how to beat it. And again, that's one of those things where it's not a difficult puzzle to solve, but the item to find is hidden in a place that is not intuitive to me. So I had somebody eventually have to show me to be like, no, that thing right there. I'm like, yeah. He's like, I've tried using things on. He's like, no. You just got to use it by itself, and you use it on this random hook in a floor. The hook rises up, and there's a bottle of holy water underneath. I'm like, what? Like, that made no sense to me. So, but that's puzzle games for you. And again, with like the trying to cram so much into such a small cartridge, that happens.
Yeah, they did an excellent job of it, I think.
Yeah.
So, music-wise, we did talk about the music a little bit. One thing we didn't mention, this is one of the earliest times I can think of, outside of like Mario Brothers, when you start running low on time. When your torch is about to go out, you get the panic music. And like I said, outside of Mario, I can't really think of many other games that used the panic music before this one.
No, that is a good point. I never thought about that, but you're right. It does have panic music, and it is pretty terrifying.
Oh yeah, especially if you don't know the torch system yet, because again, I thought that the torches on the screen where they're lit in my inventory was like a decoration thing. So I was always guessing whenever my torch was running low, and I would use torch on torch in order to light a new one.
Oh, you poor guy. That's rough.
Like, for some reason, like the first 2 or 3 months I played this game, I wasn't equating out in my head, hey, panic music, torch about to go out.
You know, knowing that, I can definitely understand you got better vibes from Uninvited. That would be incredibly frustrating.
And again, not saying this is a bad game. It's a good game. I feel like I needed at least a manual.
Yep. It is a good game. It is a great game, because we're still here talking about it 30-some years later, and jumping with joy when the sequel did come out after 30-some years. But yeah, it was a Nintendo game. It was made with the assumption that somebody with infinite time on their hands would be playing this.
Right. Well, not only that, but a lot of times I'm going to go back because either I played this game through a rental or emulation, either way, but many times whenever we did that, we did not get the manuals for these.
Oh, yep. Yep.
So for some games, they were designed to where they kind of walk you through, and this game does to a degree with how you get into the castle in the first place. But like I said, the hint system I never got, the torch system I never got. And like I said, it took me more or less until the YouTube era almost for me to realize what was going on, just because other people told me. So,
Yep.
Saying that, I am now going through my totally legal and in no way illegal ROM collection through Lunchbox, because I should now have the manual for this game.
Well, speaking of legal ways to obtain the game, I just want to let folks know if they're interested. The game is available. The original game, the NES version, is available on PlayStation and Xbox under it's called the 8-Bit Anthology, and you can find it and Deja Vu and Uninvited I think it's on Steam. It is on Steam as well.
Yes.
And also on Steam, I believe you can find the MacVenture series, which lets you play the original Macintosh versions. And yeah, I think and of course there's the 2014 remake, which is available on Xboxes and Switch. The 8-Bit Anthology does not appear to be on Switch yet. Don't know if it's coming to it, but
I think it was on there at one time, because I'm pretty sure I bought it on Switch at one point.
Well,
it could have been pulled.
Yep.
So I'm about to get angry.
All right.
I have here the manual for the game pulled up, the original manual that came with the NES version.
Mm-hmm.
The manual tells you what the buttons on the controller do, how to start a game, choose a save file, your objective, which is defeat the warlock, and that's about it. It explains the command window, but it doesn't say a thing about the torches, and it tells you the basic commands, and that's it. Although it does tell you about if you get stuck, you can press start or select. If any hints are available, they will be given to you in the text window. It doesn't mention a thing about the torches, but here's where we get angry. If you need more hints, you can cut a piece of paper out from the manual and allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery, and send $5.95 to Kimco at 20,000 Mariner Avenue, Suite 100, Torrance, California, and they will send you a strategy guide. I wouldn't be as angry if it were for a fact they don't tell me anything about torches in the manual.
Gotta buy that strategy guide.
I mean, I get a page about FCC regulations, but I don't get anything about you might want to keep a torch lit.
Oh, manuals.
It's only 12 pages long. And these are NES manuals, too.
Yep. 12 pages is about the size of your average poop. So, the length of your average poop. So, yeah, that works out.
This thing wouldn't have even made it through the car ride home.
Oh. Well, you didn't want to memorize the FCC information as a child.
But I mean, thankfully, they tell you if you are getting interference on your Nintendo, you can reorient your receiving antenna, because, yeah, I had that in my Nintendo. Relocate the NES with respect to the receiver, move the NES away from the receiver, or plug the NES into a different outlet so that the control deck and receiver are on different circuit. What? I don't remember have any of these problems with my Nintendo.
Oh, and we had an antenna, so that, I don't know. Weird.
Yep, but, I mean, that's important information, but I feel like they could just, get rid of that page and tell me about torches. That would be great.
Yeah.
I don't care about your legal crap that you're required to print in order to sell your game. Tell me how the torch works. So, how long did it take you to actually beat this game?
The first time I beat it, it took a lot. Again, the puzzles with the getting the holy water to fight the hellhound stumped me. I think somebody showed me, or maybe somebody wrote in Nintendo Power and went, huh? So, yeah, the first couple times it took me a while. I played through it last night, and it didn't take me long at all. I had about 90% of it memorized. So yeah, no, somebody definitely helped me back in the day, because I remember somebody telling me, I can get through everything, but the Sphinx might stop me because it's a riddle, and I don't know what it is. They figured out the riddle, though. 100 feet. What has one? No. It has a long, skinny body, but it has no hands. It has 100 feet, but it cannot stand. That was the riddle.
I got a weird one. Mine was more or less something like, it has a river, but there's no water. It has lands, but there's no people, or something like that.
Yep. So that's why I couldn't throw away the map.
Yeah, that one was mine.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Of course, I was so not good at this game, they could have told me, it has oil, and you light it. I would have been like, hammer.
Yeah, that's the point of, you just use apple on door. Maybe that'll work. Maybe the door is allergic to apples. I don't know. I've tried everything.
Oh man, I give up. Use sword on self.
Okay. I did not expect that to do anything.
Yeah. I mean, it's not quite as entertaining as use torch on self.
I've not tried that one.
It takes 3 times.
Wow.
It won't do it the first or second time, but the third time you will successfully light your hair on fire, and the rest of you soon follows.
Do 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 do.
Then of course the Grim Reaper will approach you and tell you what a shame it is that your adventures have ended here.
It's many, many shames that my adventures had ended there.
Have you happened to play any other versions of this game?
No, I have not. Just the NES version.
I don't know if this even exists. I'm gonna Google it real quick. But the Famicom version has one thing about it that's absolutely amazing and makes the game significantly more funny. Is
Okay.
all the text in the game is done in first person.
Huh.
So imagine all the death scenes in the game, but they're done in first person.
Huh. I guess that makes sense because you're kind of like you're seeing what the character sees when you go to a room, but like you don't actually see your character until the end of the game, the end credits scene. No, I didn't know that.
It's
That
hilarious. Cause so if you light your hair on fire, your character is literally screaming, "Oh God, I lit myself on fire! That was really stupid." Like it's amazing.
All right. So I did not know that fun fact, but I know that there is a very specific version of the game that has a very specific hidden feature, hidden room in it.
Yes.
All right, go for it.
If you've already got it, man, you go for it. I sent it to you, but I closed the page earlier. So.
Oh no. I'm talking about, and I'm not sure if you are. I assume you are, the Todd Zipnick Memorial Room.
Yes.
All right. In one, and I think it's the original Macintosh version, and by this I mean the original Macintosh version, not even available in the Steam version of the Macintosh game, is you can go to that room I discussed earlier where there is a waterfall and a pile of a pile of stone has fallen across the door, and you can't get it. But in the Macintosh version, if you find one of the bottles, and I forget the bottle number, I think you have to use it to shake it up, and then place it in a pixel perfect spot, and then hit it with the sling. It will explode and cause the rocks to fly away. And then you can go to the Todd Zipnick Memorial Room. Todd Zipnick was, I believe, the founder of ICOM, the company that made the game originally for Macintosh. And at the time, he was perfectly healthy. Unfortunately, he developed cancer shortly thereafter and passed away, making the Todd Zipnick Memorial Room go from goofy joke to loving tribute. And having spoke with people who have worked directly on the sequels about this, I'm like, well, did people know that Todd Zipnick was dying at the time? And so they put that memorial room in there, and they said, no, it was just a stupid joke.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of creepy how that worked out.
Absolutely. So yeah, if the next Retro Olympics has Todd Zipnick Memorial Room, you'll know Shadowgate.
I feel like I'm not allowed to compete in those anymore.
You did win, right? Yeah, you won. Yeah, you and Grim won. So yeah, when we get to do our next winner's circle, you'll be back. But
I think we were disqualified from competing. we caused too much chaos.
You guys were great. I loved your reactions to the free point category. I don't know why everybody thinks those questions are so tricky.
Not a clue. So you mentioned if modern day players want to play this, they can grab it on the 8-Bit Adventure Anthology. If you are a retro collector, you can get it not only on NES, but there is a version of Shadowgate Classic on the Game Boy Color, which is more or less the same game.
Yeah, put it on NSO, you cowards.
I wish they would. They need to expand that library a bit more.
They do.
Throw everything on there. Give us Shadowgate, Uninvited, Deja Vu. Give us Deja Vu 1 and 2 on the Game Boy.
Yeah.
These MacVenture games were so good.
They really are. And they need more people to know how great they are.
Yep, and like Keaton said earlier, you can also pick these up on Steam, not only in the 8-bit version, but in their original Mac and MS-DOS versions, which is a cool little touch.
I do recommend the NES version. The Mac versions are black and white, and they have no soundtrack. I think the color adds a lot, and also the soundtracks are very well done.
That being said, if you do get the Steam version of the Mac version, it does come with the DOS version, which was in color.
Oh, well, there you go.
And it gives you one other huge thing that the NES doesn't have, which is my one gripe with the NES version. It gives you a mouse to control the game with.
Yeah. Playing the game on NES is rough. The cursor moves very slowly.
And, I mean, these are all affordable, even if you don't take the Steam key route and just buy them outright. The 8-bit Adventure Collection is $7.99. The Shadowgate MacVenture series, which includes both versions of Shadowgate, is $2.99. Or you can buy the entire MacVenture collection, which gives you Mac and DOS versions of Shadowgate, Uninvited, Deja Vu 1 and 2 for $6.99. And really, most of these games play not identically, but similarly between the NES version and the PC version.
Yep. If you want a very solid breakdown and want to try these yourself, but want the knowledge and experience of playing them, there is a YouTube channel called You Can Beat Video Games. Capital U, and then the rest of it's spelled out. But the first part is the letter U. And that gentleman goes through, plays the game, has some decent banter, but also has both the Macintosh and the NES versions up on the screen at the same time, so that you get to see the differences. Not a sponsor. I just really liked his videos.
Yeah, he makes some entertaining stuff. I've watched quite a lot of his stuff. He's got really good presentation too.
Yeah. And I think he worked closely with them to help promote the Beyond Shadowgate Kickstarter back when it was coming out.
The other guy I watch that does game guides, and I believe he does have a Shadowgate guide too, is Video Games 101. He's got a style all his own. It's similar to You Can Beat Video Games, but different at the same time. But he does some really good stuff too. I'm actually double checking, make sure he has done Shadowgate. I'm fairly sure he has, but I'm going to double check. Yep, there it is. So You Can Beat Video Games and Video Games 101 will both give you a quick tutorial on Shadowgate, and both of these are under 40 minutes for the full video. Like, if you know what you're doing with Shadowgate, you can run through it in easily 15-20 minutes. But I would recommend don't spoil yourself. Attempt it on your own at first. Enjoy the death scenes.
Yeah, it can be very frustrating, but again, like, it's very rewarding to solve those puzzles. So, yeah, give it a try, and when it gets frustrating, then seek out some help. That's what it's there for. Reach out to Lethco on Discord. He'll be happy to help you out.
Yep, and of course Keaton floats in our Discord too. He's everywhere if you'd like to talk to him.
I am the Discord wanderer.
And if you enjoy it, be sure to check out Uninvited and Deja Vu as well, because all three games run off the same engine, but they all tell a unique story, and they've all got minor differences between all three.
Yeah, Uninvited, for those who don't know, is the tale of going into a haunted house to save your sister. She's gone missing after a car crash. So you go into the haunted house to track her down. Deja Vu is the story and stop me if I'm wrong on this. You are a private noir style detective in like 1920s Chicago, I think. You wake up,
Hard-boiled.
yeah, with no memory of who you are, why you're there, or who that dead body is. And you've got to figure out what's going on, who killed this guy, why'd they frame you for the murder, and how to stop their plan.
Yeah, and all three are excellent. They all three have different gameplay mechanics, but they all run on the same engine. If you figured out one game, you can figure out the other two, no problem. And they're all just greatly entertaining. Like, me and Keaton touched on a few moments that we really enjoy in Shadowgate, but like, all three are worth playing.
And I do want to give one last bit of a shout out / breaking news, updated potential spoiler news to the Shadowgate board game. It has been out of print, but the rights are returning to 317 Games, who made the game originally, at the end of the year. And they are currently working on, because the board game uses art from the 2014 version of the game, because they didn't have to pay special royalties for that artwork. They worked closely with Zojoy, who owns the rights to the game, to make it. But they are hoping to talk to Kimco and get permission to use the original artwork in the game to give you that classic 8-bit feel. I was lucky enough to get to try the prototype, and I gotta tell you, it looks great, and it feels back like you're back in that castle. One other second here. I was talking to the guy who makes it, and he mentioned something else I should have researched real quick. You can cut this like last 10 seconds if you want, or leave it in. It's fine. I don't mind being embarrassed. Where is it? Here. Okay.
When has this ever been a professional podcast?
Fair point. Fair point. So, and this is also really cool. When they get the rights back to make the Shadowgate board game again, they're also going to be releasing some expansions. They're releasing one based on Beyond Shadowgate, and they're also releasing one called Talamar Rising.
That sounds cool.
Yes. And I got to play the Beyond Shadowgate expansion. Again, so I'm going to tell the story real quick. But 2 years ago, I bumped into the guy at Gen Con. Gen Con is a very big board gaming convention in Indianapolis. And I saw this guy wearing a Shadowgate t-shirt, and I said, "Dude, nice shirt." He's like, "Thanks." I said, "Did you know there's a board game?" He goes, "I'll do you one better. I'm the guy that made the board game." I'm like, "What?" And so we talked for a little bit about that. It was really cool. And then we stayed on contact on Discord. And a few weeks before the convention, he reaches out and goes, "Hey, you want to get together at Gen Con this year and play some Shadowgate?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'd love to." He's like, "Cool. Do you want to help me playtest the expansion?" I said, "Yes, absolutely I do." He's like, "Awesome. We will meet up at the convention center, find an empty table, and play." I'm like, "Cool." The convention center is going to be full of 50,000 people at the time. So, but yeah, you'll still find it's a big convention center. You'll find some empty tables. So, like 2 minutes before I'm supposed to meet this guy, he reaches out to me and goes, "Hey, can we go back to the hotel instead? I'll drive. That way we'll have a little more privacy." "Sure, no problem." So when we reach the place, I'm like, "Hey, so you realize you're asking me to suddenly leave this very public area, go back to a isolated area with a person that I barely know. And he's like, yep. And I'm like, it sounds like you're trying to kidnap me, but I want to play this expansion, so it will work.
It worked better than a white van with free candy painted inside.
Yes. If you put a white van that says free board games, I'm going in. But no, Chris was a great guy. We got to play the game, and I got to play test the expansion and give my thoughts. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to when the game comes out.
Yeah, I did see. I think it's still available for sale. There's copies floating around on Amazon. I think it's like $30 or $40. I don't know if that's MSRP or like a markup.
I'd say probably MSRP. I don't remember, but it is a very good game. It is a multiplayer game because it would be very hard to do a solo puzzle solver. But you do explore the different rooms and have to fight the different monsters or roll dice to solve puzzles. And it's definitely worth a try. It captures the feel of the game, and it's fun. I've played it with people who have no Shadowgate experience. I'm just like, please play this high fantasy game with me, where you explore a haunted castle. And they had a blast as well. So it's not just a nostalgic, ooh, I remember this game from my childhood fun. It's a legit fun game.
Sweet. And you can either, like I said, you can find that now, or you can wait in the re-release, which you might want to do if you're wanting that artwork if they get a hold of it, because it sounds like playing it with the NES artwork would be a blast.
Yep. And then you just throw the soundtrack on yourself and relive those memories.
So, Keaton, I am going to screen share with you real quick. I have found part of the translation of the death scenes from English to Japanese, how they went first person with them.
All right.
And if you want, you can read a few of these with me and see what you think of them.
Okay.
So I've got screen share active. I don't know, is that readable from your screen?
Okay. After using your torch on yourself 3 times. English. You finally set your hair on fire. The rest of your body soon follows. Japanese. Yeah! My hair! My hair! It's burning! The burn spread across my body. I writhe in pain as I breathe my last.
I really want to play a Japanese translated version of this game.
Wow.
I like the werewolf one at the end. English, with a loud roar, the wolf pounces on you, taking your life. The wolf's powerful jaws rip your throat out. Japanese. Ah! The woman transformed instantly into a wild, ferocious wolf. It's angry. It's attacking. Ah! I'm done for. Ah! The wolf's fangs glint in the light, and at that instant I became the werewolf's last meal.
That is so much more glorious.
I understand why they changed it here in the US. And I feel like at the time it was probably the right decision. But 40 years later, oh god, that first person stuff is amazing.
Yep.
I would highly recommend, this is on hardcoregaming101.net if you want to check out some more of the English to Japanese translations of the game. And they also cover the 2014 remake as well. They cover the Game Boy, the PC, the Mac, a little bit of everything it looks like.
Oh yeah, this page looks really informative.
Yeah, they go over quite a few details. So, before I get ready to close this out, Keaton, do you have any other goodies you would like to plug?
About Shadowgate, I think I've plugged everything. For myself, I am going to give a shout out to my convention that I help organize. It is called Furry Weekend Atlanta, and it is a furry convention in Atlanta. It takes place on Mother's Day weekend. And if you're sitting here going, why would I go to a furry convention? I'm not a furry. No, but you are probably a video gamer, possibly a board gamer, and we have one of the largest video game rooms that you're likely to... Okay, our video game room takes up an entire floor of the hotel. And our board game room has about 700 different board games in our collection. We are a 501c3 charity, and I think that's what it is. I can't remember precisely. But we are a nonprofit. We raise money for a homeless LGBTQ youth shelter called Lost and Found. And Lost and Found Atlanta, I think. And, we're just... Even if you're not a furry, Furry Weekend Atlanta is about being who you want to be for the weekend. And if you want to be somebody who has access to an entire floor worth of video games to play, including tournaments with prize support, pinball, and a variety of new and retro consoles, then we are the place for you to spend Mother's Day weekend. Unless you want to spend it with your mother. Or bring your mother. That's fine, too.
Sounds sweet. Either way you want to go with on that one. Also, be sure to plug your feature on the Secret Levels.
Oh, yeah, that. Secret Levels podcast is kind enough to allow me to do my own little side stories episode thing. I call it Board Master, and it is where I play a board game based on a video game and review it, explain a little bit how the rules work, and most importantly, talk about how it feels comparing the board game to the video game. Again, like games like Slay the Spire, Shadowgate, actually do a very good job of Cuphead do a very good job of capturing the feel of the original game. Super Mario Brothers Uno, not so much. It doesn't feel like playing Super Mario Brothers. It feels a lot like playing Uno.
And speaking of Secret Levels, be sure to support them. You heard an ad at the beginning of this episode, but Gameboree is in its final month of the year. They are attempting to raise $2,000 for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. They are right now, as of this recording, $1,256. So they're on track to meet that goal, but they cannot meet that goal without some help. So be sure to check out Gameboree, shoot a donation out, donate during stream, and Toby might eat some unique food.
Oh, that poor guy. That dude is a saint.
That's got to be made of sterner stuff than I am for some of the stuff he's putting in his body right now.
Yeah, I would not. I don't know that I want to say that I would. I don't know if I could eat bugs to help sick children.
I could not do it unless it was like there's a child dying in front of me, and if I eat the bug, it will live. In that case, I might be able to handle it, but outside of that, I don't think I can.
Yeah, Toby's a saint, man. Like, he's bound and determined to raise that money to help those children. So, if you can help him out, even a buck or two, it all adds up.
Yeah, anything's a help. There are prizes. If you want to donate $10 or above, you will be put into a drawing for some prizes. The top donator, there's a grand prize, and the second top donator, there's a second prize. And of course, there is the random drawings for everyone that does $10 or more.
It is also worth noting that Toby streams Tuesday evenings from about 8:30 till about 10:30 Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. His name is Toby Von Doom, all one word. And if you just watch and hang out, he will occasionally give away Steam keys to different video games. So just by hanging out and watching, you can win prizes.
So be sure to join in, even if you can't donate anything. If nothing else, spread the word, share the link for it. Like I said, everyone understands that it is December. It is a very busy season. It is a very expensive season. And like I said, we're not here to pressure anyone in the donating. But if you can't donate, if you could throw the link up on the social network page of your choice, that would be great too.
The power is yours.
The power of secret levels compels you.
Oh.
All right, so I'm going to get ready to queue up another tune from Shadowgate, and then we will roll the outro. And until then, we will see you later.
Yep. Game over, folks. I stole Goobs' line.
As always, thank you for listening to another episode of Afterglow. Real quick, we'll do our outro. If you're looking for more podcast goodness, stay tuned. Check the show notes page. In the show notes page, there is a link tree. In that link tree are links to all kinds of friends of the show, many other podcasts, a few other YouTube channels. Be sure to check all of them out. And some of them will even plug their shows to you at the end of this show. That way you can maybe get a sneak peek of what you're getting into. If you're looking for more things specific to Afterglow, there is a link to the Discord. I would love to get some more members in their Discord. Especially maybe to join in for our Name That NES game every Wednesday, where I will post a screenshot of an NES game and ask the members to name that NES game. On top of that, there are links to other places to listen to Afterglow at. There's a link to our Patreon. Some of the news items on Patreon are free, but if you want to donate $1 a month, that's where you get the shout out at the beginning of every episode. There's also a link to a merch store if you're wanting to check that out, of course, and snag yourself an Afterglow t-shirt, sticker, magnet, or what have you. And that's going to be it for the outro. Real fast, quick. As usual, I want to thank Grim and Toby for doing the show intro and outro music along with the show logo, as of course they get their shout out at the end of every episode. Can't thank them enough. And with that, let's listen to some other people who want to talk about their shows, which are definitely worth taking time out of your day to listen to.
Hey, this is Toby, one half of the Secret Levels podcast. We're a podcast that goes over old retro games. We go over the history, the story, the gameplay, some fun facts. We even rage a little bit. And then we go and give it a nice 1 to 10 rating to let you know if it's still worth playing. We have over 200 reviews for games on the NES, the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and many other consoles. You can find us on all the major podcasting apps, such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and you can follow us on social media at Secret Levels Pod. Game over, folks.
For more than 15 years, Retro Gaming Roundup has been the centre of your retro gaming universe, with top 10s, interviews, game reviews, news, and much more from all over the globe. Be sure to tune in every month for a new dose of Retro Gaming Roundup. That's retrogamingroundup.com.
Hello and welcome to the Reviews Brothers. It's me, Martin, and you can join me on YouTube where I have hundreds of videos covering a huge range of video game topics. I've got top 10s, hidden gems, console-focused A to Zs, as well as dedicated videos to topics like Doom mods, 3D platform games, ninja games, pirate games, and more. I cover all systems from Commodore 64 right up to modern consoles. Nothing gaming is off the table. So be sure to search for the Reviews Brothers on YouTube as well as on Instagram and TikTok for hundreds of retro and modern video game reviews.
Afterglow listeners, it's me, Keith Gasper, coming at you from the #1 retro gaming podcast, the Main Quest Podcast. Come hang out as a guest and I play and discuss a game from the backlog of my childhood. We're talking about our history and the history of the game, and if it's worth checking out today. We're talking about games from the NES, the Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx, Game Boy, and much more. And that's just on the main feed. If you enjoy what you're hearing on Afterglow, you're going to enjoy the Main Quest, and I'm happy to have you. Find the Main Quest on Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Spotify, and wherever great podcasts are downloaded.
Hello, my name is Aaron. I'm one half of Super Pod Saga, a topical variety video game podcast fueled entirely by nostalgia and unleaded gasoline. Super Pod Saga, we discuss a different video game topic each and every week. We have new episodes every single Monday covering a different video game topic. More than anything, we want to entertain our listeners and make you feel like you're one of the boys, like you're hanging out at a campfire with some of your best zany, caffeine-powered buddies and just talking about your favorite games and all that stuff. Stop on down to Super Pod Saga. It's on every podcatcher there is. If it's not, let me know and we'll get on it. Again, Super Pod Saga, stop on by.